More than 100 personnel and 41 agencies have been involved in the search for Wells since she was reported missing from her home in the Beach Creek community Tuesday night.
All our vehicles are being used to move equipment, supplies, personnel, including our UTV. We use that UTV to deploy canine teams deep within those woods, so those dogs tire out bad when the environment's as hot as it was outside there at those events. We'd load those canines over that side to side with their handler and get them deep into the woods so they didn't have to start from the roadway. That way those dogs didn't tire out as quickly.
If the aerial cannot see that well, we want to get in there, flip every rock, check every crevice, check every spot, just to make sure we don't miss a spot.
Are there a lot of streams back in this area or ponds?
Yes.
Can you give us, I know we can kind of see some of the lush vegetation and what's happening in the sky, but what's it like back there for you all?
Yes, there are numerous streams and creeks that run back out of the mountains on both sides of Beach Creek Road, along with Beach Creek itself. And there are lots of ponds, holding spots for livestock and other things that we feel are just as important as the rest of the search efforts.
A UTV, or Utility Task Vehicle, is a rugged, all-terrain vehicle designed to carry equipment and people across challenging landscapes. Unlike typical ATVs, which are smaller and often have seating for one rider, UTVs are larger, with side-by-side seating and the capability to transport multiple passengers, gear, and essential equipment. They feature four-wheel drive, robust suspension systems, and powerful engines, making them ideal for traversing uneven, steep, or densely wooded areas. UTVs can also be outfitted with specialized attachments, such as winches or cargo carriers, to support a wide range of rescue and search operations, allowing search teams to bring medical kits, communication devices, and other crucial tools into hard-to-reach locations. In the search for Summer Wells, UTVs would have been invaluable for navigating the rugged, heavily forested terrain around her home in Hawkins County. Search teams could use UTVs to efficiently transport personnel and resources over rough paths that regular vehicles couldn't access, cutting down on time and physical strain for the searchers. Additionally, UTVs allowed teams to expand their search radius quickly, moving between densely wooded areas, narrow trails, and steep inclines with ease. The ability to load the vehicle with critical supplies meant that searchers could stay out in the field longer, reaching isolated spots that otherwise might have taken hours to access on foot, ultimately increasing the thoroughness and efficiency of the search operation. At a public commission meeting, it was mentioned that UTVs played an essential role in supporting the K-9 units and their handlers during the search for Summer Wells. Given the challenging, rugged terrain of the search area, the UTVs provided a vital means of transporting K-9 teams into dense, hard-to-reach areas without exhausting the dogs or their handlers before they could even begin searching. The K-9s, trained to pick up scents in varied and demanding environments, rely heavily on conserving energy for when they're actively tracking, which can be physically intense and mentally taxing for both the dogs and their handlers. By using UTVs, the search teams ensured that the dogs arrived fresh and alert, maximizing their effectiveness, accuracy, in detecting scents. The handlers, who need to remain vigilant and responsive to their K-9 partners' cues, also benefited from not having to navigate steep inclines and thick underbrush on foot. This strategic use of UTVs allowed the search efforts to cover more ground with precision, making it possible for K-9 teams to focus entirely on their search tasks without being hindered by the fatigue that the rough terrain could otherwise impose. The Tennessee Trail Riding Action RZR's Visiting the Eternal Flame at Royal Blue Episode 06 SSXS UTV video, uploaded by Adrenaline Junkie Prod on December 4, 2019, showcases UTVs navigating the rugged trails of the North Cumberland Trail System near the Eternal Flame at Royal Blue, approximately 90 miles from Summer Wells' home in Hawkins County, Tennessee. This video highlights the UTV's impressive ability to cross through water and maneuver over rocky terrain, which closely resembles the challenging environment around Summer's home. The wooded, steep, and rocky landscape shown in the video is similar to the conditions search teams encountered during the search for Summer. Its capability to traverse both water and rugged, uneven ground made them invaluable in reaching remote areas that would have been otherwise inaccessible. By transporting K-9 units, handlers, and supplies across the difficult terrain, played a critical role in extending the search area and allowing search teams to cover as much ground as possible in the challenging surroundings. Also featured in the image above is a video titled Hogs Back 2.0 New Crazy Technical Trail. Extreme Off-Road Adventure Feature-Length SXS UTV Ride, uploaded by Adrenaline Junkie Prod on September 3, 2021. This video showcases UTVs tackling highly rugged terrain with ponds, rough turns, and steep mountainous hills. The technical trail depicted in the video highlights the UTV's ability to handle difficult environments, navigating sharp turns and challenging elevations with precision and control. The rough, mountainous landscape seen in this video closely resembles the terrain around Summer Wells' home, where search teams encountered steep inclines, dense woods, and unpredictable paths. The ponds and rocky trails shown mirror the types of natural obstacles search teams had to navigate in the Summer Wells search area. Utilizing UTVs for transportation in this kind of environment would have been essential, as it allowed search teams to cover challenging terrain more effectively, ensuring a thorough search of remote areas that would have been nearly impossible to access on foot. In the video Wilderness Search and Rescue Dogs: A Day in the Life by Heroes Next Door, uploaded on September 11, 2021, we get an inside look at the experience of a K9 search and rescue team as they navigate rugged wilderness terrain. This video offers scenes that illustrate the challenges faced by K9 units and their handlers when operating in densely wooded and uneven areas, much like those around Summer Wells' home. Using footage like this, we can visualize the conditions under which K9 units might have been transported by UTVs during the search for Summer. In such challenging terrain, UTVs were essential for safely and efficiently moving K9 units and their handlers to different search areas without exhausting the dogs or their handlers before they could begin tracking. The UTVs allowed teams to cover difficult ground more quickly, conserving the energy of the dogs and giving them the best possible chance to perform effectively. These scenes help illustrate the dedication and effort of the K9 teams, whose focus is always on locating missing persons in even the most remote, hard-to-reach environments.
Sheriff, I have a question for you as far as the investigation goes. I know you probably can't comment on a whole lot, but are you able to say if you've executed any search warrants during this time?
Actually, we've done a tremendous amount of searches, and every one has been a consent search. The community has really stood out. They want to help. They want to give advice. They want to give information. And we've not had to obtain not one search warrant. And it due part to everybody in the community just wanting to find Summer.
And Leslie, I know you talked about credible tips. Can you kind of go into what is a credible?
If you have information about Summer, if you saw Summer the day she went missing, anything like that, if you captured a photo on a trail camera or surveillance camera, that's a credible tip. Anything that would assist us. Something you see on social media that you know is somebody's opinion or just speculation, that's not a credible tip. In fact, that just bogs law enforcement down by having us, we have to go through and check that information and then mark it off. So please, credible tips, we welcome information, but just don't share speculation and rumors that you see on social media.
Here's a focused breakdown on the importance of calling in only credible tips in missing person cases, what constitutes a credible tip, how social media can interfere, and the official number to use for reporting. Importance of credible tips in cases like Summer Wells' disappearance. Credible tips are crucial for directing investigators toward helpful leads. Each credible tip has the potential to bring valuable information to light, aiding authorities in narrowing their focus and making the search more effective. What is a credible tip? A credible tip is information grounded in fact or direct observation. This means that the person providing the tip has seen, heard, or knows something specific about the missing child or circumstances. Vague suspicions or speculative theories do not qualify as credible tips, as they lack actionable details. Direct knowledge or first-hand information for a tip to be credible. It should come from someone with first-hand knowledge, such as having directly seen the child or a suspicious person or vehicle in the area. This type of first-hand information is far more useful than indirect or speculative input. Impact of false tips: when tips aren't credible, they waste valuable resources. Investigators must review, assess, and sometimes even pursue these tips, which takes time away from following up on genuine leads. This misdirection can slow down the investigation, potentially delaying progress. Role of social media in tip saturation. Social media, while helpful in spreading awareness, can also inundate tip lines with unverified information. Speculative discussions online often lead people to call in vague theories or rumors, overloading investigators with unhelpful data. Distinguishing between leads and speculation on social media. Theories about the case often evolve into supposed leads, however. These are usually speculative and don't hold up to investigative scrutiny. Investigators prioritize tips based on reliability and actionable content, and social media chatter rarely meets this standard. How social media complicates investigations. With an influx of calls spurred by social media discussions, investigators are forced to spend more time sifting through calls to identify valid tips. This can overwhelm tip lines, causing delays in processing genuine, credible information. Preserving resources for credible tips. By only calling in credible tips, the public can help ensure that law enforcement resources are dedicated to solid leads. This efficiency is vital in missing person cases, where each moment counts and the investigative response needs to be as precise as possible. Community's role in responsible reporting. For community members and social media users who may be following the case, it's important to remember that only credible tips should be called in. This allows the investigative team to focus on truly relevant information that could lead to finding the child. The official tip line. For credible tips only, call 1-800-TBI-FIND. This number is specifically designated to handle tips in the Summer Wells case and other investigations. By calling this line only with verified information, you can play a vital role in assisting law enforcement in finding Summer or gathering important evidence. Being responsible about reporting and filtering out speculative information is essential for effective law enforcement work in missing person cases.
I have a question. I'm kind of reluctant to ask you, but is there a point in this search when you all will come to the conclusion that this is not a lost child anymore, that this is possibly an abduction? Is there a amount of time or amount of territory?
Well, at this time, the circumstances leading to Summer's disappearance are very much under investigation. So currently, it's an active and ongoing investigation. We're not going to stop until we determine what happened to her, and we're just taking it one day at a time.
What has the interaction been like with the child's parents? I know that they've spoken with us on and off the record about interactions with law enforcement, mentioning polygraph kits and so forth. Can you speak to us a little bit about the interaction with the parents and how they've helped or not helped with the investigation?
All I can say in that aspect is that they're currently cooperating.
When we also
I can just tell you that any information we have, any lead that comes in, we're going to follow up on that, and all avenues are being explored.
How are crews feeling right now? Again, back to Captain Coop and Sheriff Lawson. How are they handling this right now, especially with kind of seeing an increase in temperature outside?
So, as stated before, the outpouring of community and businesses in this area, they are very limited on the time. Once they get certain areas of covered, they are being required to come back to the command post and staging area to rehab. Plenty of water, Powerade, Gatorade, food, protein bars, stuff to keep them hydrated and nourished during this whole entire time. And as one stated before I left, they are also 100% involved. They said, we will not stop.